Hi, I'm Mira Laskar with WCAT, and I am here with Katherine Applegate. The author of The One and Only Ivan, and she has written a new book called Crenshaw. Miss Applegate, can you please tell us about Crenshaw?
Well, I'm glad you asked because I happen to have a few here, you may have noticed. This is my new book, and it is about, as you can see, a very, very, very large cat. He happens to be imaginary, and it's about a little boy who's going into 5th grade, big boy, who is named Jackson. And his family's having a hard time, making ends meet, and he's been hungry a lot. And right in the middle of all that, his old imaginary friend, whose name is Crenshaw, shows up again.
So, how did you come up with the character Crenshaw?
That's a really good question. And I think part of it was there's this old movie, very old movie, black and white, called Harvey. And it's about a man who loves, his best friend is a giant rabbit. And I'm pretty sure that's where I got the idea for Crenshaw. But the funny thing is, I never had an imaginary friend growing up. Did you ever have an imaginary friend that you remember?
Not that I remember.
Yeah, me either. And so I thought it would be really fun to write about one, especially since I'd never had one myself.
So, back to the one and only Ivan. How hard was it for you to think like a gorilla?
Another good question. Very hard, because I don't know any gorillas personally. So I did a lot of research. And part of my research was coming to Atlanta to meet Ivan. And I never got to actually see him. I came, it was a really rainy day, and Ivan hated wet weather, and he did not come out of his enclosure. And I was kind of disappointed, except I realized for this poor gorilla who had spent so much of his life stuck in a mall, it was pretty cool that he had some control over his life. And that made me feel okay.
So, is there any advice for the lower school for our young writers?
Oh, I bet there are a lot of you guys too. The most important thing to do if you like to write is to read a lot, because the more you read, the more comfortable you get with ideas and with what it's like to put them down on a piece of paper. And the fun thing is to just write for yourself. Write every day and write a little bit, and nobody else has to see it. It's for you. And have fun with it.
So I am Mira Laskar with WCAT. Go Wildcats!